Okay, so Claire, why don't you discuss with us how does this work at your university?
So 3 minutes to save a life was initially conceived as a safeguarding priority really at our university. So we had this idea of democratising suicide prevention, mental health and wellbeing, and giving everybody a role to play within our communities. So we set out a strategy to train all staff in the connecting with people approach, the training approach that we've adopted. So 3 modules that staff receive are suicide awareness, self-harm awareness. The finale to the day's training is the emotional resilience and resourcefulness for self. And I think no better way of eradicating the stigma around this topic to suggest that these thoughts can beset anyone at any point in their life. You do not have to be experiencing a mental illness to experience such distress that you consider your life is not worth living, but they absolutely do pass. We just need to figure out how we keep each other and ourselves safe until they do. To offer a summation, 3 minutes to save a life is it comprises in part of the training for mental health and connecting with people, the 3 modules, and whereby we conceive that when I first sat the training, I had that ontological shift moment, that penny drop to conceive that this isn't just about how I help other people, this is how I might potentially help myself. And suicidal thoughts don't have to commence with a plan or any desire to die. They can commence with the fleeting thought that my life is so difficult at the moment, if I didn't wake up tomorrow, it wouldn't be a big deal. That's the commencement of distress that we need to be concerned about, not panic, but we do need to recognise that early with the view to get ourselves or potentially somebody else the support that they actually need. Let's stop waiting for people to hit the 40-foot waves of their distress. Let's catch them much further upstream. So the approach, another thing that we loved about it is that it's heavily steeped in principles of compassion, of emotional intelligence, about how the brain ticks, about principles of humanity that make us more alike than unalike. It doesn't talk too heavily about mental illness or difference. It talks about how as a species, as I say, we respond to distress in pretty much the same way physiologically, and that emotional pain and physical pain is very often what people are seeking an escape from, and they don't think that there is one.
And can you talk a little bit about the costs of the program? Are there costs involved with the initial training from For Mental Health? And then are there additional costs as far as maintaining the training and doing continuing education at the university once you're training the trainers?
Yeah, absolutely. There is a financial cost. Obviously, there's the licensing element and the time that goes into the development of the modules, the bringing together of peers and all the rest of it. So there is an initial cost, and then thereafter yearly there is a licensing update and point of view that every year that licensing one gives you permission as a university or whoever to carry on rolling out that in their name, but arguably it's to make sure that the message remains safe and that the facilitators remain safe and they're not veering off.
I really appreciate your time. Claire is a senior lecturer in mental health nursing at the University of Wolverhampton. I just want to thank you very much for your time.